the city had changed a bit since some of them had worked there, but I wanted to know what they'd done with the mountains. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
They fixed her up pretty good. We have breaking news, if there is such a thing, on a podcast.
What is it?
Tina Smith is retiring. She's not going to seek.
From what?
Well, she's been a senator. She's retiring. And my first thought, seriously, my first thought was, I wonder if she's already made enough in the stock market.
Ooh.
Well, she's been questioned about this.
Okay.
As recently as just this past November, she was, I don't think anything ever came of it. Certainly the local press is not going to be difficult. As recently as just a couple of months ago, Dean Phillips, he's also leaving.
Yep.
Angie Craig and Tina Smith reported financial trades for themselves or involving family members over the past few years in companies that intersected with their congressional committees. The New York Times analyzed Congress's financial filings between 2019 and 2021 and found 97 current members bought or sold stock, bonds, or other financial assets that intersected with their congressional work or reported similar transactions by their spouse or dependent child. Phillips, Craig, and Smith were the members of the Minnesota congressional delegation cited in the report. Phillips reported trades in 276 companies.
Woo!
And the Times identified 34 potential conflicts. Craig reported trades that one of her kids made in 19 companies, with 2 flagged as conflicts, and Smith reported trades her husband made in 4 companies, 3 of which were deemed potential conflicts. Now, I recall this. Smith was questioned about her interest in investing between $100,000 and $250,000 in Tactile Systems Technology, Inc., a Minnesota-based medical company. And did anything ever come of that? Not that I'm aware of.
So.
It did not. Nope.
John, what'd you find out about it?
I found on November 11th, which is when the transaction was,
Yeah.
or roughly in that area, it closed at $15.96 a share, $15.96 a share. As of yesterday, it was at $16.73 a share. So that's all I found out.
She hasn't made much money then, has she?
No, not really.
Yeah. The stock's significant increase after her purchase added to speculation considering the inherent volatility of Tactile Systems. Despite these concerns, this is from a site called Market Commentary. Despite these concerns, the controversy around Senator Smith's stock trades has received minimal media attention, sparking worries about the media's role in holding elected officials accountable for their financial activities, especially when ethical and legal implications may be at play. Well, I would go so far as to say the media does not hold them accountable at all.
Did you mention her husband, Archie, and what he does?
I forgot what Archie does.
He's an independent investor focusing largely on healthcare and medical companies.
Right, and wasn't she on the healthcare committee?
I believe
or
so.
Still is. Additional reports indicate that Smith made another profitable trade, a 30% gain in less than 3 weeks, with a concentrated bet on Artavian ahead of earnings. Given these developments, it is crucial for the regulatory bodies to be thoroughly investigate and report on the matter. The potential implications of insider trading and conflicts of interest by elected officials should not be overlooked, and measures must be in place to ensure the integrity of the financial system. I hope DOJ takes a look at this. I don't know under what, how could they, I wonder?
Well, it would have to be a complete investigation into everyone, right? That would fall under the same jurisdiction.
This is ridiculous.
Because that was my suspicion.
Look up
Emailer,
Tina Smith's net worth, Rook.
Because emailer David had the same thought I did. Is she getting ahead of this? Is she running from the fraud that might be coming?
Oh, I don't know. You mean regarding her own personal alleged potential of fraud, or the food fraud type stuff?
I'm not sure.
She's retiring at the end of her term. That's 2 years away.
Yeah, she's not leaving.
True, but
so she's not running for her life or anything here.
And this opens the floodgates of who will run. That oaf of a governor thinks he might run. Walz, which is a pathetic choice. He should leave public life as fast as possible.
You said her son.
Angie Craig's son.
It was Angie Craig's son. All right, never mind. My question in general was, do you have to show where the funds came from when you make large stock purchases like you do with real estate?
Okay, OpenSecrets.org says Tina Smith's net worth is $1.6 million. Another one says 5.9 on quiverquant.com. So I'll keep looking for it.
You can stop.
Okay.
Because I don't know how much of that would be her husband's.
Tina Smith's net worth ranges from 1.8 to 6.8 on finbold.com.
You're either playing the game or you're not.
NPR News says at least $5 million.
According to NASCAR Kelly, Peggy Flanagan has announced.
Peggy Flanagan has announced.
This is going to be, they're going to be falling all over each other.
Now, that's really interesting. You know, the cynical remark we got from one of our moles would be, this is a perfect opportunity for the Republicans to come up with another losing candidate. Boom, boom, boom.
Can we get that one guy that made his own signs?
Yeah.
There you go.
This is an interesting dilemma shaping up, because the last we heard, and we certainly haven't heard it corrected, Walz and Flanigan were at odds. Walz, I think, was somewhat taken aback by Peggy lapping up the idea that she was the governor in absence.
She took great license.
Yeah,
But he refused to confirm or deny that.
which means that they were at great odds. That's what that means.
Right.
Yeah.
Even she was already sizing up like the curtains
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
she was measured
She
for the
pulled a
drapes.
Nancy Reagan when the Carters were still in office.
So now Tina decides in 2 years I'm done, and Flanagan's already thrown her hat in the ring. So what? Now this could lead to a mud wrestling match between Walzy and Flanigan.
Gross.
Yeah.
Because Walzy fancies himself national timber. He's delusional, but I don't have much faith in the American electorate drilling down and discovering that Walz is a complete fraud, a liar, and a presider of fraud.
It'd be fun to watch those two go against each other, though, wouldn't it?
Oh,
Mud
yeah.
or oil? Mud or oil?
Well, some kind of match.
Okay.
Yeah. And Walzy's been silent on this today, but apparently Flanigan has not been silent on this.
Okay.
She's already chomping at the bit.
Can we pause here? I'm really uncomfortable with Walzy. When you put the Z-I on the end of it, it's affectionate. That's how we refer to
you're like a hockey
players.
coach, right?
Yeah, we can't be affectionate towards this man. He's the great Satan.
And this comes from the chief of the Walz Derangement Syndrome Foundation, so we hope that you would respect his decision.
Okay.
Just refer to him as Satan, if you don't mind. Beelzebub would be okay.
Tina says what they all say. She wants to spend more time with her family, in this case, her 4 grandchildren, as well as her 2 sons, and her dad still alive at the age of 95. This decision is not political, it is entirely personal, but it's not lost upon me that our country is in need of strong progressive leadership. No, Tina, when you say progressive, you mean the mystery, and the country has rejected the mystery. The mystery is born of a disdain for this country. Smith emphasized that not running a campaign will help her focus on the job in Washington over the next 2 years and maybe make more money in the stock market. No, I added that part.
But we can just assume, yeah.
I have and it's not just you, Tina. I've given up on all of you. I don't believe anything anymore. I have nearly 2 full years left in my term, and I plan to use every day working as hard as I can to represent your interests in the Senate. I don't believe you. And making sure your voices are heard. I don't believe you. She said, adding that Minnesota has a deep bench of political talent. All of it, Tina, horribly flawed. on your side of the aisle. On both sides. Horribly flawed.
Yeah.
Walz is not the answer to anything except maybe the third assistant shift leader at an Arby's, if he was lucky. That's an embarrassment to the third shift assistant leaders at Arby's.
Right.
I don't mean to denigrate
No,
them. They
not at
actually
all.
work.
Put together a good chicken sandwich.
They'll take up the mantle. She's talking about take up the mantle. It was Dayton who appointed Smith. Smith was Dayton's lieutenant governor. And she got appointed, remember, following Al Franken's resignation for the Come In Rangoon deal.
That's right.
How about Al returning to run for his former seat?
I'm sure Al is considered part of the deep, however flawed, bench. That was in 2018, and then she won a special election that November. She was elected to a full term in 2020.
Was that long ago? Holy cow! I never would have guessed that.
Boy, she's been a careerist. She was, we probably all knew this, but we've forgotten it as time passes. She was Minneapolis Mayor R.T. Rybeck's chief of staff.
I wouldn't have recalled that.
And then she joined Dayton's gubernatorial campaign and was selected to be his chief of staff in 2011.
It does give you the glimpse at how to climb the ladder, doesn't it? Here's the game to play.
And then by 2014, she had elevated herself from the chief of staff to become Dayton's running mate in 2014. She was born in New Mexico. She moved to Minnesota in 1984, and she did have a job at General Mills before starting a small business and later becoming an executive at Planned Parenthood.
Okay.
So she was really shaping up a real good resume. Senator Klobuchar, who can have that seat for life because nobody cares, said it's been a privilege to work with her Minnesota counterpart. Okay. As the only senator to have worked on Planned Parenthood, Tina quickly became a leader in Washington in the fight to protect women's rights. Well, she has successfully, because Minnesota is a great abortion place. Mm-hmm. You can come in here and you can get it all taken care of. We're good at that. So congratulations to Tina. She also braved her own story as part of her work to strengthen mental health services for all Americans. I'm unaware of what that means. Her quiet but effective governing style earned her the title of the Velvet Hammer.
Whoa.
Oh, boy.
Huh?
I didn't know she was the Velvet Hammer.
She looks like the Velvet Cadaver.
No, we're not.
Was my mic on?
Yeah.
Whoops. Sorry, I was thinking out loud there. Whoopsie.
Yeah. While Tina and I will continue to work together for the next 2 years, our friendship will last a lifetime. That's still Klobes talking. I shouldn't give Klobuchar a hockey name either, should I?
Klobes?
Klobes took the puck on the point.
Yeah,
I didn't see it after
I didn't
that.
know where it was going.
The DFL will work as tirelessly as Tina does and I know you work tirelessly. It's a chore. To ensure that her successor shares her commitment to Minnesota values. What are our values? Now, it's a serious question. What are Minnesota's values? For me personally, it's a state I don't even recognize anymore. What are our values?
Stay warm.
I think we have opposing values. That's the problem with this state. We don't agree.
What the hell are our values?
Like you said, abortion, trans kids' rights, et cetera, et cetera.
Surgeries on young kids who think they know they want to be somebody else.
Which we actually, in their defense, I've never seen any evidence that that's ever happened.
It's happened. I don't know if it's happened here.
That's a more correct way of putting correct.
Smith's departure leaves a wide open seat that could be pivotal in determining the control of the Senate. Well, let's see. Who would be some worthy Republican candidates to run against Peggy Flanagan or Walz?
Who's that supermarket guy who drives around in an electric car? That dude. What's he up to?
Pat Garofalo.
Mr. Pat.
Kendall Qualls.
Blue Pat.
Royce White.
No.
Royce,
Try again.
I think Royce has already announced, hasn't he?
Shut up! Are you
Seriously, I
Please
think
tell
he
me
has.
no, John.
Royce, go away. You're
I
not
have to look at
capable.
this.
I'm going to look
You're a
too.
moron. Regular people.
Right.
Like morons.
Oh my God, he did. He sent out a tweet with him and RFK. Royce White for U.S. Senate seat, Minnesota 2026.
No.
He's got the basketball jersey on.
But he'll lose.
Kendall?
How about somebody that might win?
Kendall?
Garofalo, Kendall Qualls,
14
Scott
minutes,
Johnson.
14 minutes ago, Pat Garofalo tweeted, next year, Minnesota will elect a new U.S. Senator. Minnesota is close to a 50-50 state. Conservatives, independents, and reasonable DFLers deserve better choices than the state. Half-baked extremism of failed candidate Royce White or the fringe wing of the Minnesota DFL.
Here's the problem
Kind
with
of went scorched earth.
the problem with Pat, Joe, is Pat has tasted happiness. He knows what it's like to be happy, and I don't think he wants to throw that
He's been
away.
in the produce aisle for 3 or 4 months. He doesn't know happiness yet.
Happiness is not showing up and doing a 9-to-5 politics job. Arguing
Well, for
with the-
what, 6 weeks a year? Big deal.
why is he our friend? The way you treat him.
Right.
Yeah, no kidding.
Peggy said she'll make a formal announcement later this month. In the meantime, I'm talking with community. That has to be Foghorn.
I gotcha.
Because she means a group of victims somewhere. Community, by the way, for new listeners, gets the Foghorn because community has come to mean a group of people who have bound together for purposes of clinging to their own victimization. That's what the community is.
All right.
Hasn't Royce just generally announced for every single office that's going to be opening up in the next 5 years?
Yeah.
Just, I'm your man.
Right.
She's going to spend time talking with the community, her family, and friends, and she'll have more to say soon.
Book deal?
Trying to replace the Velvet Hammer.
Maybe a book deal?
Yeah, I don't know, Chris. Republican Royce White, who lost handily to Klobuchar, has already floated the idea of running again in 2026. No,
fucked.
Royce, you're a loser. You're not
Joe,
the answer.
I don't know when that story is that you have, but Peggy
It's
did
today. It's dated right now at 10:21 a.m.
Well, 26 minutes ago, she did tweet, Peggy Flanagan, she will be running for the U.S. Senate.
Yeah.
So she is for sure.
Oh,
So she's going
absolutely.
to quit being lieutenant governor right now.
We said that about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, we got that. We're good.
You can get it.
You can get there. I mean, we got them.
Oh,
I got something I got to read to Kenny again, and I think it bears reading.
from our mole.
Yes.
Ilhan Omar not ruling out a run for Tina Smith's U.S. Senate seat.
Ilhan Omar ought to be
Yes, we agree.
okay.
Congressman Omar will be talking with Minnesotans about the future of Tina's Senate seat and DFL party in Minnesota, said Connor McNutt, told Axios in a statement.